Take me back to Liberia, where the drums still play my song. Take me back to my homeland. It's the place where I belong.
LIB Future TV, giving voice to progressive Liberians, speaking about politics, entertainment, and local news.
The week in review. I hope you had a good week. I hope you're doing well. I hope everybody enjoyed their holiday. A lot of news happened this week. A lot happened in Liberia. I haven't been here in a while. I've been traveling, and I had a sad situation in my family. I lost my brother, and he was my big brother, and it's been so sad. So it's been a rough time this year. I know maybe some of you have also lost family members as well. So I want to give you my sympathy. It can be very hard when that happens. But we just got to keep moving. We just got to keep going. And we can't let anything stop us. But it is, it's very difficult, you know. So, and especially for mothers and fathers to bury their children, I know that can be very hard. So my sympathy to everyone who lost someone this year, such as myself. But yeah, that's life. That's what happens. But we had a very busy week, and we're going to go over all the news stories. Everything that happened this week, we're going to go over it. So I guess we'll start with what happened in the beginning of this week. Beginning of this week was the holiday, Independence Day, Liberia's Independence Day. Liberia turned 179 years young, the oldest democratic republic in the continent. And before that, we took our cameras out on the street, and we talked to some of the people in the marketplace just to find out how their holiday was, how things were going with them, what they experienced during the holiday. And so our news reporter, Lavetta Davis, took the camera out and interviewed some people in the market. So we're going to play that video, and then I'll be back on the other side to talk about it.
Good afternoon, and a pleasant welcome to have your say on LIB Future TV. This is where we give the Liberian people the chance to speak out on issues that matter most. Today is Tuesday, the 21st day of July 2026. I'm here in Waterside Market area to speak with few vendors, a few traders, to know how business is going this July 26th season. So wherever you are, stay with us as I try to talk with a few traders here at the Waterside Market Inn. Alright, so let's go to the first person we have here with us. Good afternoon and welcome to have your say on LIB Future TV. Will you mind telling us your name?
Afra Swain, once again.
Afra Swain.
Yeah.
Alright, Afra. So tell me, what are you selling down Waterside?
I'm selling these clothes. These clothes I'm selling.
Okay, this is what you are selling here. So Afra, tell me, how is business going this July 26th season? How is business?
Yeah. Actually, it's a very slow to buy it. It's very slow because of no finance. But they have no finance alone. No money to buy. Everybody can complete money.
Everybody are complaining. No money in the country. Oh wow. So tell us, well, the way things are going right now, were you really let this government to power looking at the current situation right now?
No. I mean, I believe in one man.
Who the woman you believe in?
Yeah, who is missing?
Who is busy? Who is the person?
This time we have election. I told Bishop, come in.
You say who?
Come in.
Mr. Kobe.
Yeah, actually, that man, to be of junior coordination.
So you looking forward to electing Mr. Kobe?
Yeah.
Come to the election.
Yeah. You always listen. Anytime we have election, you always listen.
So why you want to carry Mr. Kobe?
Yeah, we have to try to. He's a labyrinth.
He's a labyrinth.
Yeah.
So we have to try to.
Everybody will put their whoever there, somebody there. But that man, I believe in that man too. Let's try it once.
Okay. So you actually like the rains to try Mr. Kobe's campaign in that election.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking our camera this afternoon.
Yeah.
All right. So we have another person here with us. Good afternoon and welcome to LIB Official TV. Will you mind telling us your name? Come again?
Asadu Kamara.
Okay, so what are you selling, Asadu?
I'm selling surgery.
Okay, so tell me how is business going this season with you?
Business business now. When the person will pass it, I don't know. So the only time I want to go.
The one you can't sell, I can go.
Yes.
So when I you what I say?
Every chicken was up. Even the son is going to buy, so you want, you can't sell it. You want to go. You don't want, but don't get
Wow. All right, Asatu, so what is your name? Okay. All right, so I'm still here in Waterside Market. We have another person here with us. Good afternoon and welcome to LIB Official TV. Will you mind telling us your name?
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm Peterson C. Badio.
All right, Peterson. So tell us, what are you selling here in Waterside?
Yeah, I'm doing a medicine. I sell medicine as well.
Okay. You sell medicine. Okay, so tell us, how is business going for you this 26th season?
Actually, apart from the 26th season, business has been going well to be precise. The business is slow. Yeah, from the beginning part of to enter 26, business has been going that much. Business is very slow, and now we enter into 26 again. The business is not moving well because more people are in the market selling now.
You think the seller are more than the buyer?
Yeah, the seller are more than the buyer, so business will not go that much. And business been slow first.
Business being slow before the 26.
Yeah.
But why you think is the cause?
Why is the cause now? Because the goods is more than the money in the market. Few money in the market and more goods there. So business will also be slow, not go that much.
Okay. All right. So what is the hardest thing for you right now this 26?
Actually, the hardest thing for me this 26 is that I'm getting prepared and fighting hard to see our best because I'm a dad of kids. Yeah, trying to get things for my kids also, and also to get finance. I was able to celebrate the 179 independence of Liberia.
Okay.
We are appealing to the government that we are small business people to help us with lay loan. And in so doing that, we ourselves will know how to pop our business up because this business that we are doing are from hand to mouth. And we're doing here to more business. When you not get minimum money, you get more money in the business will collapse. So we're appealing to the government to open some atmosphere for us.
For
small business owners. More especially we are sitting with them in Liberia. And what else to be precise, we need help from the government. The government only focus on the government official, then focus on the small business people too.
What is your name again?
My name is Peterson C. Badi.
Thank you so much for our team this afternoon.
Okay, welcome.
So that was the market before the holiday, and a lot of people said it was hard. Business was hard. Not a lot of money in the country. Business was going slow. More sellers than buyers in the country. And so, I don't know. I guess when we take calls, you can tell us how it was for you, how the holiday was for you. Was it good? Was it not good? And how is business going for you? I know that I started to do some research on Mr. Cummings, and one of the people said, they want to try Mr. Cummings. And I looked and I found something that Mr. Cummings said he was going to do in the first 100 days if he was to become president. The first 100 days. The first thing he says he's going to do is he's going to regularize salary payment for government employees. And he said he's going to improve pay and conditions for civil servants, especially the security sector employees, healthcare workers, and teachers. And so he said he wanted to pay civil servants $300 or $400 a month. He said he wants to offer microloans to small businesses, including market women, and expand and obtain credit. So there was a man in the video, seller in the video. He said he wanted some loans, business loans, and this is what Mr. Cummings said he would do in the first 100 days. He said he will launch a $20 million fund to support women and youth-owned businesses, as well as farmers through microfinance. So he would do a $20 million fund to support women and youth-owned businesses, as well as farmers. He said he would convene a forum for farmers and across the country to double rice production in 2 years and cut the price of rice by 25%. So he wants to lower the cost of rice and double the amount that is produced in Liberia. He said he wants to enforce the Liberianization policy. And that policy, there's certain businesses in Liberia that only Liberians are supposed to do. And Mr. Cummings said he wants to enforce that law. You know, I remember not too long ago, the vice president had a meeting, pictures, photo pictures, all kind of stuff at his office. And they said they were going to enforce the Liberianization policy. I haven't heard anything since that time. Establish a national youth service program to place Liberian youth in jobs in their community. Launch a rehabilitation program to address the issue of disadvantaged youth. Create jobs to rehabilitate the social infrastructure, including schools, community health centers, and sanitation facilities in the community. That he wants to improve schools, create community health centers and sanitation facilities, clean up the communities, move the garbage out of these communities. And he said he will review the port operations, the fees, the charges to import and export goods into the country, to have like flat fee, one rate. You want to bring your car in the country, you get one rate. You want to move your things out of the country, one rate. All this back and forth, different prices for different people. He said he's going to stop that at the port. Complete review of the solid waste management crisis. Initiate garbage collection and transportation to a sanitary landfill. So he said, first thing, in the first 100 days, he's going to review the garbage collection in the country. Then he said, police reforms to ensure safety of citizens. And haven't we been dealing with that this week? Police, we're going to get to that. The first 100 days, he said he will ensure distribution of drugs to hospitals and clinics. And then he said he's going to sign into law a bill making drug smuggling and other related offenses non-bailable. And he will move to stop the importation and traffic of drugs in Liberia and launch a war on drugs program. And this is the first 100-day plan that Mr. Cummings had. He will reprioritize the budget and focus on the necessary things affecting the Liberian people and drive towards $2 billion budget. And then he said he will fix the taxes across the country and introduce technology in government. So these were the things that Mr. Cummings had planned back 2023. And I'll be looking forward to see if he updates this, this time around. But the week in review, the week started off with the Independence Day celebration, and there was a concert at SKD. And this picture went viral across the internet, and I am waiting to hear what you all think of it. This is the Youth and Sports Minister, Cornelia Craw, and she had on some short shorts at the program. And a lot of people got upset and said, why is the minister wearing these type of short shorts? Why should the minister come out dressed like this? She's a minister. She's supposed to look professional. She's supposed to be wearing longer shorts. She's not supposed to be wearing these kind of clothes. And the minister, she said, I'm young. I can wear what I want to wear. So I don't know. I don't know. I want to know what you all think when you have the time to call in and let me know what you think about this. She says she's younger, she can hang out. It was a celebration. But a lot of people they didn't like that at all. And then after that, after the celebrations were over, we had a video that went viral over the internet. And this was an interview with Miata Famula. And I will play just a little bit of that interview.
Just the truth is not damning. My thing here is I have sympathy. I can even have sympathy for George because I know his limitations. He had absolutely no interest in governance, in governing a people. He was just happy to be president, enjoying himself, doing a booga dance, drinking and partying. Yeah. This man was a football player. How do you expect him to come and read a 530-page budget?
His finance minister will read it.
But that's just it. He had no idea they would read the thing. They didn't even bother him with those kind of issues because he could not deal with it. Yeah, that was George Weah. I mean, I know a lot of people mesmerized this football player. And in fact, some of my friends, Nigerians said, when I said, oh, he was a disaster, and really? They're all surprised. And then I asked them, so you think, what's the boy's name? The big one there in Nigeria, the football player. Kanu. I said, you'll give your...
So that was Miata Famula talking about George Weah, and that video went viral all over the internet. Everybody was like, what? And so I think she was trying to say that because he was a football player, that he was not presidential material, and that he left all of the work to others in the government, and they never bothered him to tell him what was going on, because either he wouldn't understand or he wouldn't be interested in it. And he was just a play person, like to have fun. And that video went viral. People were very upset from the CDC. They did not agree with that at all. They went after her, and they said, well, you know, you were involved with the inauguration funds and bring back our funds and all of this. So that video happened, and you know, I would love to hear the LIB Future TV family view on that. You know, I think, yeah, she does have a point, you know, in that you do want to elect people who have the special skills you need to run the government. Like, for example, Mr. Cummings went to school, he learned finance, he knows how to budget, he ran a multi-billion-dollar company, so he has skills to be to hire people, to staff different governments, to run the budget, to read the budget. And so it's very important to have people who understand those skills. Mr. Cummings has never been involved in any kind of corruption. He's been audited. His companies have been audited. So these are the type of things you want to look for when you're hiring people to run the government. So I understand why she said that. But, you know, I think it was a little harsh on former President Weah. You know, one thing I do respect about President Weah was after the election, he peacefully transferred power. And he did that. That was very unique at the time for an African president with such a small difference in the vote. I think it was only like 17,000 votes. And he, you know, and in Liberia, you could find 17,000 votes. I mean, you could find 17 if you really wanted to. If he really wanted to, probably could have said, you know what, I can find 17,000 votes here, there, this place, that place. But he decided to peacefully turn over power and move on. And that's one thing I will respect about President Weah. You know, I think he is a great ambassador for peace and democracy and an example. And I think President Bouaka should have given him an award for that. But that was Miata Famula's video, and it went viral. And then this week, this happened as well. Jojo Bouaka's picture surfaced on the internet. And Jojo Bouaka is the son of Joseph Bouaka. And he was pictured, looks like they're on a deck, or they look like they're on some kind of porch or some outside area. It's a group of his friends sitting around. They are all smoking cigars. Looks like they're drinking drinks, celebrating or having a good time. And what happened was, in this picture, it's a bunch of guys who were suspended or arrested or somehow involved with this $300 million cocaine bust from Royceville and Doison, that area there in Margibi. And people said, what is the president's son doing in pictures with these kind of people? What is happening here? And is he connected? Is he linked to this? Is he tied to this? The questions came out because all along people kept saying there's some big hands involved in this thing. How can people move $300 million worth of cocaine in and out of the government, in and out of the country, without having some kind of big hands involved? And people wanted to know, was the president, this is something, Liberia, listen to what I'm saying here. Was the president of Liberia's son involved in this thing? And Jojo Bouaka released a statement after this. And he said a couple of things in this statement. I read the statement. absolutely denied being involved with any kind of drugs. He said he was not involved at all. He said that he he was not at all involved in this drug situation. But one of the things he said in the story, I read this story, and one of the things he said uh I see Dr. Pearson. Dr. Pearson, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good, Catherine. It's a pleasure being on with you this evening. I just from work and I saw you and I'm like, let me just join her.
Oh, wonderful. Welcome to the show. Welcome to LIB Future TV Week in Review Friday night edition. We are going over all the stories of the week, and we just got to Jojo Boycott. And I showed the audience on the radio, they can't see it, but everyone on social media could see that what happened this week. This picture came out and it hit the internet. It went viral all over the place. And it was Jojo Boyka sitting around a table smoking cigars. And I don't even like the smell of cigars, Dr. Pearson. It just makes me wanna. It's just I don't like it at all. But he was smoking these cigars, drinking drinks, enjoying himself with a bunch of guys. And some of these men in this picture, we will hear their names later on in the week. They were all kind of linked or tied. Something was going on with these men, especially Mr. Mark Kua that was in this picture. And so Jojo Boyka released a statement. And in this statement, here is something that he said, which I found to be so interesting. He says, I believe that responding to every rumor would distract me from my businesses. I believe that if I respond to every rumor will only distract me from my family, my businesses, and my own responsibilities. So when I read that, first thing I thought about was, wait a minute, Henry Costa said that Joseph Boyka used to live on loans. Henry Costa said that he used to give money to the president. He said that he used to make the Eagle land. Remember that? Remember when he said that? He said he used to get money from other people, Stanton Witherspoon. All these people used to pay for Joseph Boyka. So my question here is, what businesses does Joseph Boyka have? Did he have those businesses before when his father was living on loans and he didn't give any money to his father? Are these new businesses? What kind of businesses is he referring to? Do you have any clue about Jojo Boyka's businesses that he's referring to in this letter?
Thank you, Catherine. Matter of fact, President Boyka's family and myself, we are from the same district, district number 6 in Monserrado County, and his kids are childhood friends of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jojo Tatan, we call him. He does love business. The last that I checked before her father became president, he was running a nightclub next to his father's house. And besides that nightclub, there's nightclub. There's nothing more to that I'm aware of. And so that's where this whole, if you follow closely, that's where this whole accusation of drug trafficking alongside him comes from.
So the businesses he's referring to, he's had businesses before, and that's maybe what he's talking about in this letter when he says it would distract me from my businesses.
Maybe to that, what I could say is that we who are friends are aware that since his father became president, he has become very, very, very involved in putting up a front as though he is a government, not government per se, but like an envoy, of the country, going out there and soliciting whatever opportunities he can solicit in the name of the country. And so I guess it's just leveraging the opportunity of being the president's son, and maybe that have given him some different opportunities out there that he's now exploring. So that could be the businesses that he may have acquired by that means.
So this is what he says in this letter. He said, at the beginning of 2024, I made a conscious decision to distance myself from the day-to-day affairs of government. I did so because I wanted those entrusted with public office to perform their duties independently, without anyone suggesting I was exercising influence simply because I am the president's son. Now, the reason why I found this part to be interesting is because there was a man called Ibrahim Traore. And Ibrahim Traore said that Jojo Boakai, the Minister of Youth and Sports, and a Liberian ambassador took a trip to Spain and visited Real Madrid on a trip to discuss business. So if Jojo Boakai is saying that he distanced himself from day-to-day affairs of government, then why is he taking trips with these government officials to Spain with these business people? To me, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, to me, it does make sense. Yeah, because the background of the entire reason for which he's writing is to dispel the notion that he has some connections on the outside that has to do with him bringing in the country bad actors, bad businesses, especially related to the drug. So let us not forget that this letter comes only as a result of the president's son Jojo being mentioned by supposedly members of the cartel who did a video accusing him of being the one that the name you mentioned, Tuare, introduced him, Jojo, to them, and they had gotten into business with Jojo, leveraging Jojo's proximity to the presidency because of his father, now to run that drug, the cocaine, through Liberia without any hindrance. And now their business has been threatened by Jojo's in contact in Liberia, who they didn't held up the end of the bargain. So now they were threatening that they will come to get to Jojo. And now so Jojo is saying that, listen, I made a conscious decision by early 2024. I can understand why you say that, because that when his father became president, he doesn't want to be seen as influencing, the nation's business climate by his reliance on his father's position as president. So he's trying to distance himself from such. But you're right, like how can you say that when you've been told, when we are being told that the cartel is saying that you are involved in those dealings? And not only that, but you were just on a trip abroad, presenting yourself as one of those representing Liberia to discuss business opportunities for the country. So I think it's a contradiction, but I can understand why he's trying to distance himself from the scandal around the cocaine drug situation we have in the country.
Yeah, so I mean, Jojo Boakai is saying he's not in government, but he's going on government trips with Liberian ambassador, the youth and sports minister. It to me, it doesn't make any sense. Then he says this one, now, LIB Future TV family, this one I chuckled at. He says, I have consistently told my friends that if I ever become aware that anyone in my circle is connected to drug trafficking, I would not protect that person. Dr. Pearson, is that something that you've ever told your friends? I I have never told my friends. I've never told my friends that. Am I missing something? Is that what people tell their friends?
So you remember when I said within our own community in district number 6, where they do have, they used to have, I heard that they tried to, the president tried to get rid of it, that they did have a club. I'm going December, so I will have to follow up on that to see if they may be still running it, or maybe they have it open somewhere else. I will find out. I'm very popular in my community, so I just have to have few of them. We can say in Liberia or picking them beside us and we'll ask them and they will show us the place or take us there. You know, yeah, there has been serious complaint about these guys running drugs. And even in their bars, in their the nightclub. So I can see him having that conversation, just opposing it against the various accusations that have come against him. So, but again, like you said, it's ridiculous, right? That who sets their friends down and say, look, starting from now, you know, I wouldn't want to be associated with you guys when it has to do with drugs. Like, so are you trying to tell us indirectly that you have been associating yourself with individuals who may likely be involved with drugs? Yes. And now you try to cut ties with them? Because that's the only reason why I'll be brave to, like, if I knew you, Catherine, I brought up that conversation with you, I must have had some inkling of you being involved with drug. And then to tell you now, you know, Catherine, as going forward, I cannot continue with you with the kind of transaction, you know, because of my new status in society, right? Yes. You know, like, so going forward, I can't continue with you because you have this cloud over you, and I don't want to be associated with it, so I'm going to be cutting ties. But if that's not the case, why would I bring it up? You know, why would I even think of it?
That's the funniest part of this letter, because if you don't have an idea that the person is involved in it, you wouldn't bring it up. And so you brought it up because you had an idea that maybe your friends were involved with this drug stuff, and that's why you keep warning them. And then he went on to say that he did attend meetings in Spain with the Minister of Youth and Sports and the ambassador to France, even though he said in the beginning of the letter that he distanced himself from government. And then he admitted that this man, Mark Kua, was a friend of his. And this person, Mark Kua, has been listed in a writ of arrest. Mark Kua. This is one of the individuals charged, released by Joseph Boakai in this entire scandal that happened with Patrick Comasi. This is another person, Dr. Pearson, that was suspended from the government. This person, Patrick Comasi, he held a very high ranking position in the Joseph Boakai government, in the police. He was in the LDA, I believe. He was released. This other one, Mark Kua, he worked at the airport. He was the deputy manager of operations at RIA. And I mean, the amount of people that were suspended and kind of linked to JoJo, I see why he wrote this 5-6 page letter, but I think there's a lot of questions that remain about what is really happening in the security sector, with the government, with the president's family. I mean, these are questions that Liberians have, and we still have not gotten all of the answers, Dr. Pearson.
Yes, and I think it's going to be a little difficult to get out of the answer, considering that this whole issue with this drug bust, this cocaine bust, is that it involves people at the very high up. When you have a situation like this, when you have a situation like this, the problem here is that you start to ask yourself, how far up do we go before the whole government comes crumbling down, you know? or how far up do you go before you start to lose the integrity, the reputation of the government, right? Lose public confidence. One of the things we've noticed over the past couple of months is the bragging of government officials that they're trying to boost the image of the country, that the former administration, the CDC-led administration, had tarnished, right? That they have what is named George Weah, former president Weah, turned Liberia into a buka dancer country. They had dragged the country into the mud, and now they were coming on to bring this new branding, this new image to the country, especially when we even got the seat at the Security Council at the UN, the non-permanent membership council. There was this big bragging about how Liberia is now, positioning itself at a whole new level now. So how do you come to admit that you have this much a scandal in the high ups in the government? So yeah, you're right. I think we are yet to see how far up this whole scandal is going to go up. Don't forget, when you're dealing with a deputy for administration, deputy for traffic, a deputy for intelligence, these are not small people, Catherine. Don't forget, in security, there's something called chain of command, right? So if Gregory Coleman, who is the Inspector General of the National Police, can have all of the senior officers, the next in line to him, beneath him, just deep in the scandal, and you want to believe that as a professional, they call him IGP, right? Inspector General, right?
Mhm.
So if you are the Inspector General, and then all of these clandestine actions, activities are happening beneath you, and you did not pick it up. You did not grab it. Then which means in a much more civilized society, in a much more serious country, you'll be tendering your resignation.
You have to.
Because that's the highest degree to which your ineptitude can show. It's like me serving as managing director or CEO of a company and managing director, and out of the middle level managers under me are involved in major scandals, and I'm not able to identify it as the head of the company. Who is the shareholder going to trust me to manage that company?
No, and now I see why people are, now that you put it like that, that makes a lot of sense, because it's happening all around you. They're bringing in $300 million worth of drugs all around you, your own deputies. Look at these people where they worked. Mark Egon Kwok, Deputy Director for Operations at Roberts International Airport. He's in the picture with Jojo Boyka here, enjoying himself. Then you have he's at the airport. Then you have someone, Johnny Bollardine, Commissioner of Police for Criminal Investigation, Intelligence, and Interpol.
Can you imagine that?
International police.
Can you imagine that? It's like he is the guy who nothing happens under Gregory that Gregory shouldn't be ignorant of. Like, if he didn't tell Gregory on a daily briefing as to what is happening from the intelligence standpoint, and connecting Gregory to international partners responsible to keep an eye out, and then you got close to, when I did my math, we're talking about close to $800 million worth of street value cocaine, right? How can you slip on that?
Patrick Doe, Deputy Director of Administration for the National Security Agency.
Right. So these are the guys who receive close to almost 20 million every budget year, right? They receive close to 20 million every budget year, and besides that, they receive what we call off-budget spending that sometimes get us yelling and shouting where the money is going. So these are guys who are supposed to be on top of the National Intelligence Security Agency, where we are kept safe. We can uncover those things that are even deep-seated, that ordinary people, ordinary security personnel would not have any idea of. Now, look, it's just sickening. Catching is very sickening.
This one, this is a man, Patrick Komazu. He has got a writ of arrest, or he is alleged to be involved with the drugs, and he is at the LDA, one of the highest positions at the Liberia Drug Enforcement Authority.
Right.
And he's alleged to have brought in drugs in the country.
So let me throw some light on this too, like I did the previous one. So his position, you remember I talked about security got command and control structure, where you send commands from the top and no one under the chain of command will question you. They have to execute your order. So these are guys at the LDA who sit at the different borders, entry areas, or should secure our different borders, maybe any vulnerable areas that they suspect that drug will be trafficking through, and supposed to send command and control instructions down the chain and say, look out for this, look out for that, be on your alert at this point in time, at this hour, at this day. So if he tells them to stand down, if he tells them to stand down, can you see where we're going with that?
Yes. This one, he says that he's suspended without pay and directed that he be placed under investigation.
Right.
So these people are supposed to have been there to protect the country, stop the drugs from coming in, and yet they are alleged to be helping to bring in 198 plates of processed cocaine, 3,971 plates of cocaine. Dismissed Mohammed Bowa, director of security, the director of security at the airport.
Right.
Moses Jala, deputy commander, Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, Roberts International Airport. You see, it's like they have surrounded the airport, infiltrated the airport. All the people that are supposed to be security at the airport, the LDEA and the NSA, high as Interpol in Liberia, these people have clawed their way through the security of the whole entire security sector, from the LDA, the NSA, and the Roberts International Airport.
And there's another guy that we've mentioned here, I think Dean, right? He is the chief of patrol with the Liberia National Police. So now let unpack this a little bit more. Now imagine that the NSA, the Liberia National Police guy in charge of intelligence and linked to Interpol, and then the guy from NSA also, they are the one who keeping surveillance on high class, deep secret stuff happening in the country, right? So they supposed to alert the others, send out an alert to say, oh, we got this tip out there, we got this information out there, oh, we've been following this lead, and this is about to go down. And now you feed that information down the chain of command, right? So these guys are compromised. It means to say all intelligence feeding from international partners down to local intelligence is strangulated at their level, right? Keep that in mind, and then come down one step to at the NSA and then at the National Police. Keep that in mind. Intelligence is stifled, and with that in mind, then think about that. The guys who are supposed to be manning the border entry points, right? That the intelligence supposed to alight and say, something is going to be coming through these areas, through these various locations. Keep an eye out, look out for it. That information system has been compromised. And then the guys who actually manning the already porous borders, even the borders that you just gave $1, $2, or $100 and pass and get about your business, the very guys who will be keeping the borders, even undermen, receive command from up the ladder, up the tree, and say, look, gentlemen, your guys stand down. Something's
Mhm.
will be coming in, all of you guys stand down, all right?
Wow.
So that then leaves the country open now for the field intelligence, not just working alone. The intelligence is passed down to the guys who are at the border to mine the border from drugs. Now they give the instructions on the ground with the foot soldiers, stand down,
Let it
right?
through.
So they
Let-
all stand down, the borders are open, and then you have the chief of traffic, commander, the commissioner for the chief of traffic, deputy at the Liberian National Police, who controls every checkpoints at night, who controls every police patrol vehicles, who control the cons that has to do with traffic management, is also indicted. So in other words, I'm saying not only that the staff for intelligence from outside and within, not only that they tell the guys to the borders to stand down, then they got the guys in charge of traffic, one police vehicle behind the truck, another police vehicle in front of the truck, and they're scattered through the country.
Listen to this part. He said the president also ordered the dismissal of 2 officers from the Liberian National Police who used their official government vehicles to facilitate the transportation of a narcotics consignment from
Wow.
Vincent Town along the Bummy Highway to the vicinity of Mega Mart in Tinker Village, Painesville. This is not even something that we had heard of before, that there was more drugs in Tinker's Village,
Right.
but that they had police escorts
Right.
escorting the drugs.
Now, listen to this other point, and that's where it gets scary, right? You remember you mentioned queer from the RIA.
Yes.
So not only that intelligence broken, not only that the borders men are told to stand down, not only that the drugs are, escorted through the country, through the different communities. Now, when it gets to the airport, the chief of security, it's like, you have free access to get it out of here. Not only that they have free access to come in, they also have free access to get out of there.
This was a serious breach of security, deep and full across every sector.
Yes.
It was from the incoming of the country, through the country, exporting out of the country.
How long do you think it's been going on?
This took years to infiltrate these people. This took time, effort, one person bringing in another person, one person, my man, look, this is what we're going to do. This is how much money you're going to make. And it goes back to what we talked about in the beginning of the show, when Mr. Cummings said that one of the first things he would have done in the first 90 days that he took office was to increase the salary of civil servants, especially the security sector, because these people are not making much money, and they are, vulnerable to bribery. But worse than that, I think these guys higher up, they're making good salaries. They're making good money.
Yes. And it is good you mentioned that, because the girl, and I hear people mix this up, because people think that it was the government that busted the drug at RIA. It was not the government that busted the drug. And when I say the government, I mean it's not the security apparatus. It was not a tip off from the American government. It was nothing like that. It was just a lady who was at the wrong place. At the right place at the wrong time. You know what I mean? It's like she gone to work. She wasn't expecting that product to be passing through there. She was not one of those who probably had a hint of what was going on, and she was oblivious to the fact that that goose was passing through. Because don't forget, it was the consignment of the $19 million drug was carried at the airport on a Friday. And fortunately for us, Liberian men said, luckily for us,
Friday
it did not get to leave on the day it was intended to pass through. Right?
Yeah.
So whoever was probably designated to be on site on the Friday to see it through and clear it for boarding was not probably available on Monday. So this lady is there on Monday doing a job, not expecting this consignment to pass through, and then she stumbled upon it, and she asking questions to the point where they had to open it up, and then she inhaled it, not even knowing it was cocaine.
Wow.
So I hear people try to make it sound as though Gregory Coleman and these guys who are now being indicted were out to look for this drug that was coming in, and the American government I tipped them off and they were on this hunt to go and bust it. That's not the fact. They were escorting it. They were sabotaging intelligence, internal intelligence, and external intelligence. They were making men to stand down at different border entry points. They were escorting the drug in and out from those vulnerable entry points. They were escorting it to the airport, and then they had contact at the airport to see it through to the plane. That's scary.
Well, you know, I don't know if you noticed, but Mr. Cummings gave a press conference at the headquarters on July 13th. And at that headquarters press conference, Mr. Cummings said he was going to call his friends in the international community to institute an independent investigation into this matter. And from that point, you started seeing things just moving in this investigation. People started getting arrested. People started getting suspended. I'm even hearing that there's international intervention in the country. There's international assistance in the country. There's international coordination and intelligence being shared. And I mean, things just started moving since Mr. Cummings made that press conference and said he will be on the phone calling international friends of his to get involved into this thing, because it was just so quiet before, I think it was July 13th. It was quiet in this investigation.
Yes, and I think that plays a significant role. You see, the thing about these kind of activities is that crime thrive in silence. What do I mean by that? When you have thieves and rogues in the neighborhood committing crime, and everybody's quiet, they have more incentive to do what they're doing. They have more comfort to do what they're doing. I give you an example. Maybe those who are listening in Liberia when the quarter were test. When we came out of the Civil War, Catherine, we had a lot of crime across the country because of lack of employment and stuff like that. One of the things we used to do, we call where, you know, in the community you go have your vigilante watch team. The men would not sleep at night. We would sit up and take turn mining our protecting our communities. When it started to get too dangerous for us to do that, because sometimes people started to get hurt, so we decided to stay indoor. But this is what we did, Catherine. We had this idea that once we sense that a house had maybe a thief trying to break into it, what we did was we took the pan, the pots, and the spoon, and the cook spoon, and everybody were told to just slam it. Ain't no just slam it, like make noise. And before you know it, the whole neighborhood is banging on your pot, your cup, your pot top, your bowls, and you banging, making loud noise, and then you confuse the thieves because of the noise, and then they get confused, and then probably they get caught. So I think that's what Cummings' message did to them. Like once Mr. Cummings, everybody understands his connections. Don't forget, there are a lot of people who have that mindset that it was Cummings whose international connection brought sanction on George Weah's officials. Even though Mr. Cummings have said no, I didn't physically lobby for sanctions on Liberians. I wouldn't do that. So they still have that mindset that Cummings have that much connection that he will have go and press some Liberian press some button, right? So when he was wrongly accused by the CPP collaboration, and he was taking the court, he was able to get Tony Blair's wife to come and do an investigation for him that helped clear his name, right? So they all understand that he does have the capacity to do that. So I would say it was a good thing that Mr. Cummings did that, just by just saying it alone that we want to see an independent investigation. We want to touch base with our friends abroad to get involved in this thing. I'm sure it brought him up, and they made mistakes. they made some mistakes, right?
Right.
They made some mistakes.
Look at the amount of drugs in this house. Oh my God. This is what's killing people's children, destroying people's families. This was sitting in a house in Doison, in the middle of Makivi. And from the letter that the president wrote, there were some other places, Mega Mart in Tinker's Village. And I mean, these drugs are all over the country. And the way they infiltrated the security sector, I mean, it's almost unbelievable, unreal how far this drug thing has gone in the country. And, I don't know if this government can really root out the issues, because I don't think they even scratch the surface of all that has gone on and all the people that are involved. The IG, Gregory Coleman, said that there were state actors, government actors, who enabled these drugs to come into the country. But he hasn't named them and he hasn't arrested them. What is that about?
Again, that point you just mentioned introduces a shift in the conversation about this drug bust, because from Gregory's, from the police IG last press conference, and if you tie it in with the press conference of the information minister Jeremy Pia, you will find that they're trying to shift responsibility for the drug from this administration to the previous administration. So I saw Gregory struggling to connect even timeline. At one point he would say 2018, another point he would forget and say 2019, another point he would slip and say 2023, another point he would slip and say 2023, 2024. So he was struggling. And then the PR comes up, the information minister comes up to clarify and just made it blanket and say past government officials. This is what I would say to any rationale Liberians listening out there. When you look back on the level of propaganda of the Unity Party, right? How they blame the initial drug crisis on George Weah, to the extent that they said his result in the Kenninja area, there is a drug cartel, a drug spot. As far as going to say that their party headquarters was also a drug site for which they raided it, right? And not only that, considering that the immense amount of pressure that they are under politically to find some reason, to find some political, accusation against anything related to CDC, to satisfy their partisans, right? To make a case, to make an example of CDC. Catherine, do you think in your mind, if Gregory Coleman and the entire Joseph Boykai's administration taking over power from CDC had stumbled upon, right, an entrenched weakness of a cartel stronghold in the CDC administration that was being turned over to them at the time? They were dismissing people and replacing them with their own. Do you think they would not have seized that opportunity?
Right.
And make a scene of it?
Immediately.
Right? Or are they telling us now that the king and the son? Because take for instance, if I'm a cartel and I'm dealing with the police chief, and I'm dealing with the NSA chiefs, and I'm dealing with LDA chiefs, and those chiefs are replaced by a new administration, I will have to try to reconnect right? Because I lose some very important pieces in my play of my drug trade. I want to replace those people that I've lost.
Right.
So when I make contact, so is Gregory telling us that the cartel try to make contact because they were entrenched in the CDC administration when those guys were changed? Are they telling us that the cartel try to make contact with people that even Gregory brought into the police? With people that President Barker put into the NSA? Because you know that you know how many EPS officers that they set aside? Before I said LDA officers that they set aside, because they came to power with that notion of that we cannot trust these guys, so keep them there will be to undermine our administration going forward because they are sympathizer to CDC. Right. So if they did that rigorous shift and change of authority, how is it that the cartel still have that much power to import and export under their eyes?
Yeah. This is their problem, and they own it, and they cannot run away from it. It happened under their watch. They're the ones who chose all these people, the LDA bosses. They kept changing and changing and changing different people. And the LDA was still infiltrated to the highest degree, the highest level. Even the NSA, and the NSA are the ones that are closest to I think they're on the executive budget. These are the people in the president's, inner sanctums. These are the people briefing the president, and they are committing crimes. So it is, to me, not going to be a surprise when we find out that the president's cabinet, people in the president's inner circle, are also somewhat linked, because this doesn't stop at this level. They are all over the government, from the airport to the border, in the traffic, from one end to the other. And one of the things that Mr. Cummings was I don't know if he has like a crystal ball, but he's a wise person. And he says things sometimes long before they come to pass. And one of the things, Dr. Pearson, he kept asking this question about this FOIA project. He keeps asking this question about this FOIA project. And the question he keeps trying to understand is, where did the money come from to build this project? It wasn't on the budget. It wasn't disclosed. It just started going up in FOIA. And he keeps saying, who gave this money? Even the president, when he was interviewing, I don't think he's been interviewed since. I don't think he's done an interview on the radio since he talked about this project. President Barker said he don't know. He wasn't informed about how this project came about. He was just told about it, but he doesn't know much about it. And ANC and Mr. Cummings keeps asking, where did this money come from? There was an initial letter that they sent to the LACC. The LACC, it says, we sent a formal communication May 25th, 2026, requesting a comprehensive investigation into the financing, procurement, authorization, and implementation of this Mano River Union Center for Regional Peace in FOIA. Then it says LACC responded June 4th, 2026. And today is July 30, 2026. LACC has not provided any update. And so it looks like the ANC sent a follow-up letter saying, what is the deal? Where's the investigation? Where's the update? What's happening with this?
You know, I still see a pattern here. Think about it this way, right? So for the guys at the NSA at that middle, the go between level between the highest, the bigger boss, the big boss, and the under guys, if that person right under there was carrying on clandestine acts, and the bigger boss turned a blind eye for him to do it. If he went to the national police, the bigger boss, Gregory Coleman, is sitting up there, and all his deputy under him carry on those activities, and he turned a blind eye. LDA, the same thing, the overall big boss turned a blind eye, then the next man under him is carrying on operation. Think about the president and his entire cabinet. That's what it shows also. That's why it shows also, because what the president is telling us that I'm not paying attention to what the guys beneath me are doing. Or Mr. President, it could just mean like the police chief, you just didn't want to pay attention because you knew what's going on.
Right.
You needed what the bookman calls plausible deniability, right? Plausible
Closing your
deniability,
eyes. Closing
right?
your eyes.
Yeah, you play dumb so that you don't answer for anything that happens under you. You just play dumb, like, oh, plausible deniability. I didn't know about it, so you can ask me any question, right? And then we get to understand that when we push on these things, people tell us, oh, they SOEs, like maybe LPRC, Liberian Water and Seaboard, NASCORP, other places provided the funding. But you just said it, Catherine, if they provide the funding would have been reflected in the budget, in the national budget, because it is in the national budget that SOEs contribute funding to support national projects, right?
Right.
And then, but the periods we're talking about, majority of those SOEs, whether it's the water and seawall, the LPRC, the telecom, other places, they couldn't fund the budget for 2024, 2025 because they said they didn't have money.
So if they don't have money, what are they doing investing in this project?
Where did the money come from? So now then people, I know it's going to be naive to think that it must be drug money, but then when you look at it again, I'd rather be a fool to ask the question, to be certain, right? So take for instance, the cartels are passing huge amount of money through the country in billions of dollars now, because don't forget, when you show that stockpile of drug, cartels internationally they have policies. They don't keep all their stash in one spot because they don't want everything to get busted at the same spot. So maybe they keep the stash, the stuff away, maybe 10% a piece. Like if they have 100%, they keep it in 10 places at a rate of 10%. So if you bust 2 sites, they still get 8 sites left for 80%. You just got 20%, they got 80% left to stand to cover their losses. Now, my question here is that if we're assuming that they are 3,000 plus kilograms of cocaine, which street value will be around $800 million, close to $1 billion from street value, the question I'm having to ask myself, how do they stash the money? Because there has to be a way to stash the money. Right? So whatever profit that cartel is making in transit, there has to be a way to stash the money. And to stash the money doesn't mean to keep it like we saw the drug setting in bundles, but it has to be processed through infrastructure. It has to be processed through shell companies, shell businesses, maybe like a logistics company that was taking the drugs from the manager's house straight through the airport, nobody asking questions, and on the airplane and out of the country. Right? But Catherine, on a serious note, if you myself, Catherine, if we had a shipping company in the US and we're shipping things to Liberia for Liberians, girl, every container that we ship out of this country, we have to make sure that nothing is on that container that's gonna make us to get into any criminal activity that will spoil our business, correct?
Right.
So we want to have inspections. We want to make sure that when you bring your barrels, we're gonna open it. I want to see what's in your barrel, because if they went to the port for custom inspection and they found something in your car trunk that you telling me to ship back to Liberia, or under your car seat, or in whatever you put in the container, I'm going to be held liable. Right? So why would I want to have a shipping company that refuse to use all of the mechanism, all of the capabilities within the facility itself, and ship a product directly from my house to the port of Newark, without the sophistication at the warehouse that Catherine myself I put into place. Catherine myself I put into place some sophistication to reduce our risks of liability. But now I bypass and ship the thing, leaving Catherine unaware, ship it from my house straight to Newark Airport, and say it's in the name of Catherine and TSN's business. And we get busted. And then Catherine myself supposed to tell the Newark customer and say, oh, you know, we not aware what's in the container. Girl.
Yeah, they said, tell your story walking that way in handcuffs.
So you're right. Cummins comes from a corporate background. And just a disclosure here, I work with Amazon at the corporate office in Phoenix, Arizona, before I took on a state job, right? At the corporate level of functioning, Catherine, you have the thing way ahead of time. Because the success of your business gonna depend on futuristic calculations, like what to expect, what is going to happen in the next quarter, the next maybe a business reporting period before it even happens, because you want to satisfy your shareholders. You want to make the best decisions for them. You want to have some level of predictability as to what's going to happen, and then you want to ensure continual improvement in what you're doing. How can President Boyka not only just turn a blind eye, but then endorse something he didn't know about and doesn't have any clue where the money may have come from, and said it on public radio, and have the audacity to put it in the State of the Nation address as an achievement?
Yeah. And so today, I believe the ANC delivered another letter saying that they wanted answers. They want to know, is the LACC going to address this or investigate this, inform the public, reaffirm your commitment to to conducting this matter free from political influence, institutional pressure, or external interference. And this one was important. Says, ensure that if you see a violation of the law, every person found culpable, regardless of office, influence, or political affiliation, will be held accountable under the laws of the Republic of Liberia. Because it doesn't matter what position you are in. If you are involved in this kind of thing, that's why I think Mr. Cummings keeps saying, and the ANC keeps saying, where is the money? Follow the money. Follow the money. Is this project legitimate? Where did the money come from? Because if someone in the executive mansion is doing this kind of thing and is involved in what we are seeing in that country, the presidency is at risk. The presidency of the United States, of the Republic of Liberia is at risk. And it is a very scary thing. So I hope the ANC continues to push on this. I hope that they continue to find out where this came from, because I found out the ANC is actually in schools recruiting students to stop them from taking drugs, teaching them how to, say no to drugs. These are our future. These are our future leaders. These are our future. This is what the country is dependent on to move forward. And we have to stop these people from trying to destroy their lives with drugs, with all of these chemicals, putting it in their body, and focus on how we build the country. You know, because we cannot build a country if it is a transit for illegal drugs. We cannot do it.
Right. And you know, I like when you bring comments into this because you know Liberian people need to step back and filter out the propaganda against Mr. Cummins because for over 10 years now, people have painted this picture like all the people doesn't know Mr. Cummins. It sounds laughable to me because when you look at the last elections, when we set up the year Appleton, whoever heard the name of Appleton in the entire country before? It was the first time any of us heard the name Appleton. So if Appleton end up in a massage, I call it a massage election results, right? I
Right.
don't think the massage that election results, you know, from a massage election results, if someone who is a non-entity got more votes than Mr. Cummins, it tells you that someone is deliberately wanting this man not to come forward to be the leader of a country that really needs the skills that he has. He is not one of those who is waiting to get government jobs to be able to show off that he loves his country and he's able to do something for his country. This young man is already doing things for the country without government job. And it's not that he's not one of those who comes and runs for elections, and then when the election is over, he goes out of the country, sit again, wait for the next elections. He is with the people 24/7. He is in the counties. He's in the streets. He's in the ghettos. He's engaging people. He's telling them, listen, if you want us to change this country, we have to go beyond the regular, normal, everyday thing. This is not just politics is not just enough. Our lives are more than just politics. Our lives are like these kids. It's one thing to say all the political slogans. It's one thing to say give all the political rhetorics. It's one thing to give all the back of red string campaigning. It's one thing to make everybody else get poor around you, and then you be the only one everybody come to your gate to come and beg you for $1 or $10, or pay the delivery bill, or pay the hospital bill, or pay the child school fee. This man is saying no to these things. Empower the people. Make these children strong enough tomorrow to cater for themselves, so that when they are making decisions for the nation, they can be independent of that decision they're making.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you know, and then it's so sad in that we are not paying attention. And then he comes back and says, listen, LSCC, if the intelligence officer fails, the DA officers fail, the Liberia National Police fails, the president playing blind eye to things and even validating it when it's wrong. LSCC, you guys are supposed to be the independent body who will call them to answer for what they're doing. You are the eyes of the public. What are you doing? Tell the people something. Look into I strongly hope that our LSCC commissioner Alexandra will pay attention to what this court is. I know most of the time they are fighting for their jobs. They feel they might lose the job if they become independent of the executive branch of government. But I think her duty is to Liberia. I think her duty is to the people of Liberia. Her duty is to the country. I think it is better for her to serve with distinction and even lose her job with honor than to bow down to the pressure we see everyone else bowing down to at all levels that got the country to where we are in the case of the drugs. Let her clean the slate like Mr. Cummins want her to clean. And let Liberian people know where that money came from.
Yeah, I mean, we have to know. We have to know, especially now with all of this that is going on in the country. You know, so we had a very busy week this week, and even though it was a holiday, you know, started out with the 26th celebration. We talked about Miata Famula and her video. And, you know, one of the things that happened that shocked me was the way that they decided to destroy the drugs. I I was wondering, do they not have an incinerator? Do they not have a place where they could, you know, put these drugs so that the smoke, so that the all the fumes from the drugs would just go straight into the air? This is drugs, chemicals. They're burning tires, toxic things, and they're putting all this into the air so that people can inhale this in the surrounding communities. Those look like buildings right there.
Yes, yes.
What were they thinking? What were they thinking?
You know, that's a good question. What were they thinking? When I saw this, I mentioned three things. Right? I said blackmail, I said cover up, and I said environmental pollution. When I said blackmail, when I saw this and I said blackmail, I was referring to why they were trying to burn this drug. Just about burning this drug, they made a whole scene press conference, and they tried to pin this whole drug from their responsibility to the past administration, you know, to take ownership for drug being in the country. I felt that was very deceptive, right? And then the second thing I mentioned, I said cover up. You see, Catherine, they said, when we mentioned, they said, oh, you know, we got permission from the courts. Let me clarify something, Catherine. And you're an esquire, right? You're a woman of the law. Now listen to this. Yeah, if you tell the law you have drug that you want to get rid of and you need permission to get rid of it, they can give you the permission to get rid of the drug. That's your entity has the legal right to dispose of harmful chemicals in our society, right? They give you the right to do so. But at the same time, when it comes to preserving evidence, Catherine, where that evidence has to be adduced in court, in a major high-stake case that worth millions of dollars, there are some assumptions to make. One, if the drug cartel are pushing around $1 billion worth of drug, it means that the people who have that drug got money to spend for lawyers. And if they're in America, we're talking about top-notch lawyers. Lawyers who are getting into the courtroom and argue the case, and you can be as guilty as hell, but the law is blind to sentiments. The law is blind to emotions. The law look at evidence. So yeah, this person can be caught with the gun smoking in their hand. If you cannot adduce evidence to convince the court and the jurors beyond reasonable doubt, that person will walk. The person wouldn't walk because they didn't commit a crime. They will walk because your evidence did not support your prosecution of the person. So now, the drug itself, Catherine, is the primary evidence of the case pending trial. All the pictures that they said they took, the weighing they said they did, the testing they said they did, the evaluation they said they did, where they said they stored it before they burned it, how they disposed of it, who disposed of it, in whose presence, who were the witnesses being disposed of, was the prosecution lawyers present to preserve the what they call custody of evidence to make their case in court, where the defendant lawyers contacted to make sure that they are able to weigh the evidence, to prepare a genuine defense of their client within the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. I said the accused has right to the access of evidence adduced against them in court, to test the evidence, to weigh the evidence, and to challenge the evidence in court. Now, the primary evidence is being destroyed. The question remains here now. When you go to court, you're going to rely on secondary evidence. The pictures you took, the measure of the weight you said the drug is. Now, when this thing gets complicated, Catherine, very complicated, Catherine, people want to question the validity of the institution that weighed the cocaine. Are they licensed institution? What type of skill did they use? What instrument did they use? Those who evaluated the cocaine, how did you know all of the cases of the cocaine carry the same amount of weight? Or how did you know other than carry the same potency of what you say you have as sample to take to court? Why if you want to just manipulate evidence to take it to court? How are we convinced it is from the same pocket that you seized when you went to do your seizure? Moreover, are there any DNA that could have been present on the packages? Not just the cocaine, but the packages that those DNA testing, maybe through sweat, maybe through contact with some body fluid, whatever the case might be, that could have given us some other leverage to test for DNA and to see if these guys who were carrying these things on the shoulder, packaging them, they left the sweat, they left other body, biological elements on it that will be tested and link them to the crime. All of those different technicalities will come to play in court. Then come to the environmental. We have signed all of the major environmental treaties at the United Nations, and one of the treaties is violated right here. And Catherine, let me say this on air for other people to hear me, especially government officials. We signed treaty to control carbon exposure, and they pay us for that, to minimize carbon, and they pay us for that. So if we are paid to minimize carbon emission with our rainforest serving as a collateral to absorbing carbon and transmit and converting them to oxygen, whatever that deal is, and the complication of some of the things we can do and not do, you're right. Did they take all of that into consideration? I don't think so.
Yeah, I just really hope that the people in the surrounding areas are safe, that they didn't get affected by this, because when I saw that smoke, I said, that's burning cocaine. That's crack cocaine in the air. It could make children sick, pregnant women sick, So, Tuzan, if you're there. Tuzan, ready to open the lines. Tuzan is going to open the lines. It's time for you to tell us about the stories of the week, how your week was. What stories caught your eye this week? Was it the Independence Day? Was it the drug story? Was it Mr. Cummings, not 100-day plan that we went over that I read to you? Was it the LACC letter? What caught your attention this week in Liberia?
So, well, folks out there, you're listening to Catherine Gibson alongside Clarence PRC on various issues as they talk about. So, if you want to be part of the platform this lovely morning, I can say the 1st of August 2026. Number to call is 0777 959 959. 0777-959-959, or better still, 0881-871-670 are the numbers to call this morning and then be part of the platform, the LIB Future TV. 0777-959-959, 0777-959-959, or better still, 0881-871-670 are the numbers to call.
While waiting for calling, me mention about Miata family.
Yeah.
I saw you brought that up.
Yeah,
go ahead. Do we have a caller?
No caller.
All right. So when I saw the interview with Miata, look, let me be honest with you. Miata is an icon. At the time, Miata was I should be respectful here, because I have a lot of respect for her. Madame Family, I should say. When Madame Family was really making waves with her music, we were very young in Liberia at the time. Look, let me tell you.
Let me hold it there and then we'll talk to this person.
Good morning, my brother.
Good morning and welcome.
I'm okay, my brother. I'm calling from the Banave.
Okay.
Okay, how you people here discussing our country issues?
Yeah.
But it's very, very serious. Can you imagine? I heard somebody, she spoke on the line of people burning the jaws in the air and affecting the other neighbor, right? Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. We're listening.
So I heard that woman was talking. I want to say something to her.
Okay.
It was not the same situation. I said, what are doing jaw? We understand about the jaws issue. They have a specific place that they burn the jaws that it didn't affect the citizen or the neighbor that around the place there. And two, President Buck had to be serious and tell people exactly. Gregory Como is not above the law. If Gregory Como is into the jaws issue, it meant should stop job. But you can't be going through investigation. Then he is the front page of the investigation. Then he allowed the men to go to work, and other people are paying endurance. So Gregory Como is who in this country?
Oh.
You understand my brother?
Yo, getting you.
Yeah.
Oh,
so we are serious. If the party cannot come out and tell us, we the citizens of this country, we will black hole, and he will tell us exactly what is going on in this country. I'm so sorry. Thank you for the show.
Oh,
we are prepared. It's not about party issues. It's not about CDC, Unity Party, ANC. We the citizens of this country, we are preparing. If Joseph Burger is joking with this country, we will tell that we the same citizens that made job, we are 110 president. We will be the same person. Will be the same people who come out and make back out of 110%. We're not joking. We are very, very serious.
Oh.
If the police will show up, NSA will come and arrest me, or we are prepared. But we're coming outside the stage that Burger this we're playing with is one of the serious things. You have to be very careful. And also, you will lose a job. So thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much. So number to call 0777-959-959 or better still 0881-871-670 are the numbers to call this Saturday morning and be part of the platform, the LIB Future TV. So you can go ahead.
Yeah, Dr.
Yes,
Pearson.
go ahead.
Oh, okay,
Dr.
okay.
Pearson.
Yeah, let me just respond to the caller who just called. Look, I think he made some very good points. You know, when President the former President was in power, they burn marijuana in similar fashion, right? Even cocaine they burned in a similar fashion, and I think it was wrong, especially when it endangering the atmosphere, making it hazardous for the community that the burning is taking place. But you see, this is where we tell people, and Mr. Cummings make this thing. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. If the thing is wrong. You need to fix it. And when you come to fix it, make sure you fix it properly. Don't measure your failures with the failures of what you came to fix. And also my brother who called, look, we think President Boakai, like you said, needs to do better. And where he has come to make change, let him do the right thing. Right? He shouldn't walk in the CDC mistake. Another thing is that Mr. Cummings, we're having a conversation yesterday, Catherine, myself, and Mr. Cummings, and he said, look, there's a difference between the domestic drug problem and the intercontinental drug problem, multinational drug problem. So the one where the drug just coming to pass through the country, different from the one they try and take in Liberia. And, but let me put it this way, my brother. The drug that are passing through the country and going to another country, we're taking it serious, very serious. But we also need to take the one that stay in the country, the small country, and taking very serious as well. Because if you're not careful, when the drug that passing through the country going to other countries starting to make big money in the country, other smaller children will start getting involved to the point where they will be using them for some of the things the big people don't want to do, so that he cannot be in the cookie jar that we see it now. So we say, like in America, yeah, instead of the cartel, big guys and running a drug in the street, they use other people, small people. And then when the small people start pushing drug, then they start making money. So take, for example, the driver who's dropping the drug to the airport. Maybe the man used to just do a lay 1-2 pick and drop. But then one day the man said, let me see what I can be carrying every day. When the man go low inside, he said, oh, he said, chief, the thing I'm carrying, and they think I'm mad. Then me say, just share your mouth because you already understand operation. Instead of me giving you $200 US to carry to the airport, for now I'll be giving you $2,000 to carry to the airport. That man who was looking for 2,900 now, he getting 2,000, 3,000. Another person who is sitting down to the machine, actual machine, looking at the drop pass, he said, "The thing too much now. I've been pushing the thing now. Another thing, get big money inside here, but the money inside the thing now. I can't stand now. Be pushing the thing for 500 US. A banji. For now on, I want my own car to be 50,000 USD. So then the money start going up. Small people make demands. By the time you get to know it, the men who making demand, getting small money in your pocket, the money getting fat in your pocket, they all start getting frisky, they start getting strong, they start feeling big, they start stealing some of the cocaine and they start trying it. Instead of selling the whole plate, they start finding a way now how we can do the burger right in Liberia. After the war, right? We used to choke the burger around with chuka. You know, you tell me catching, see right there. The guy used to set the rest, right? They would take the lip prep, they would choke the rest, they would take some 6, 7, 8 cups in the bed, then they smooth it again, they set out bed, but if you're taking 6, 7 cups from inside, right? The same thing gonna happen with the cocaine. By the time you notice, the major ones are going out of the country, but the one that they're taking on the side now start to transfer on the market, on the local market. Our kids start getting hooked on cocaine. You think that people ain't taking cocaine like Liberia catching? People taking cocaine. In fact, the people can do that one. They're doing coach. They're doing it in the casinos. They're doing it in the major hotels. They're doing it in the major clubs.
And they think it's cool. They think that it makes them feel like big people. And you know, it's sad. And you know, I don't know if our President Boakai, is sleepy or he's tired or he's just not able to keep up with these things. But the problem is too big for him. It's too big. It's all over the government.
I want to make you laugh, Catherine.
All over the government.
Catherine, I want to make you laugh. On my job right now, so I will not say I'm working for my own. Someone said I shouldn't do that. But on my job right now, we deal with people who are suffering from these kind of issues with drug, right? In Liberia, everybody know about they call it withdrawal. Meaning if you own certain drug and you can't get access to that drug, you enter.
Your body starts shaking.
Catherine, I have my finger crossed. The more we talk about the drug, the more we beat on the government, and the more we make it difficult for cocaine to pass through the bureau. My finger crossed. I want to see some major government officials going into withdrawal.
Woo. Wow.
That's the first time saying though. That's the first time saying it. But I'm looking. Sometimes when I pay attention to when I see them functioning in Liberia and I'm on Facebook, I'm waiting. I'm looking to see government officials that will start showing signs of withdrawal because the consignment of the stash that they have on them have run dry.
And that's an expensive habit.
Oh, Catherine.
That's not a cheap drug like a marijuana. That's a expensive drug.
Let's keep the pressure up. Let's keep the pressure up. Let's keep the pressure up so that cocaine can come in the country because we have the pressure on. Let's keep the pressure on that even the one they have hiding, they can't get to it to take some. Let's keep the pressure on the other one in the clubs and in the casinos there in Liberia. All of them, they should run out of supply. Let's see the government official who able to stand up on the pulpit and do press conference. And not go to Dara DeLong Rehab Center. I'm waiting for that moment. Maybe they will just get on the plane and come back.
No, it's like
come back on this side.
Like Liberia right now was supposed to be rescued, right? They were supposed to rescue. They were supposed to fix these problems. They said that drugs was a big problem under George Weah. They made it a emergency that this had to end. And what you have learned is under their government, the drug people have completely taken over almost every area in the government. There was even an official of the Ministry of Gender that was also suspended. Ministry of Gender and Youth, I think. Procurement officer. They were all through the government.
Let me tell you. Let me call the name so you can understand it. So you can understand the gravity of what you just said. the Ministry of Gender, Women and Children and Child Protection. Ain't no like the children, ain't no women and children. Ministry of Gender, Women and Children. Procurement, which means you in charge. You're in charge of buying things.
I don't know what this government is going. I don't know if this government is going to make it through the next 3 years. It's so scary.
They will. They got someone like Mr. Cummings. Let me tell you why the government will make it. You see, people in Liberia, especially when they're in government, they think opposition. They call it opposition. They think opposition is bad, right? But I don't see opposition. I see advocacy, right? I see activism. I see some old from a church. We see watchmen, people who are looking out in the press. They say watchdogs, right?
Nice.
We are blessed, Catherine, to have an environment where our society got people who are keeping eye out for what is going on in the country. Mr. Cummings is one. Like you mentioned earlier, the fact that the young man said, we want an independent investigation. Everybody put on a big man trousers, straight aside running head to scatter to make sure that it looks like they're working, right? Yeah. So let's tell God, thank you that you, Catherine, you got your word. Look at you. Look at me. I'm just from work. I supposed to be with my wife. I supposed to be with my family, right? I supposed to be finding something to eat. I supposed to be trying to relax and get preparing for the week.
I ate fried fish and plantain.
You see what I'm talking about? But we take off our time, our valuable time. Look at our brother on set right now, right? He's supposed to be sleeping. And maybe just put a computer, just put on 6 hours, a playlist on, he go start snowing on the desk, sleeping while at 6 hours, playing with commercial in between. He been sleeping, waiting for the morning time, he go home to go do a different thing, but he's setting up, making sure that the people get information that help to change the country. So because of you and myself, people like Alexander Cummings and others who are keeping our country fit to the fire, we can pray and hope that things will get better.
Right.
Sorry, I talk you both tonight on your show. Sorry.
No. I agree. You know, I do. The reason why I do this is because when I came to Liberia for the first time, and I had always wanted to come to Liberia, but growing up, there was the war first. That was the thing. We were young and we were watching these videos of what was happening with Doe and, putting people on the pole, and we were just shocked by it. So then the next thing, our family from Liberia started coming to America, staying with us. Because back then, going to Liberia, they had those Pan Am airlines. They had 2 floors in the airlines. Liberians were living well. And they were all coming to America now because of all the war. So then the next time I was supposed to go, that was Ebola. So I couldn't go. So when COVID hit, I said, no, I don't care. I'm going to see Liberia for myself. And when I got to Liberia and I saw the children selling in the middle of traffic, that's why I said, what is this? They're not in school? No, they're not in school. Their parents can't afford to send them to school. Wait a minute, Liberia, who has gold, diamonds, iron, timber, why don't they have the money? And that's when I started to look into these things and realize that corruption, the stealing, these terrible leaders were the reason why the people are suffering so much. And I thought that they will elect Mr. Cummings in 2023. But the way how the election was going, it was just Bwaka, Wia, Bwaka, Wia, Bwaka, Wia, Bwaka. And I said, but this man is trained, talented. He has the skills. You are going to elect this old man to do what? He needs to sleep. He needs a nap. He needs to relax. He needs to rest himself. How can he manage a 70,000 government employee workforce? How can he manage all of these things, from the Ministry of Mines to the LEC to, the gender ministry to commerce to EPA. How can he do all of this? He can't. The energy is just not there. At that age, you need to rest most of your day. And so then, Liberian people elected him. And the first thing that happened, they went into the retirement fund and started taking money for cars. And that's when I said, it's over. It's over. It's over. It's just a repeat of what we have seen before. You go to the people's pension money, their retirement money to go buy cars. I said, this is it. The Unity Party chairman, Luther Tupper, he was supposed to show us bank statements, because when the money came in for the party celebrations, the Unity Party people came out and said, we didn't get our money. 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 Where's the money for the celebration? And he said, oh, I'll show you the bank statements. Nobody took the money. We never saw the bank statements. I said, oh boy, here we go.
Before even getting to office, though.
I knew it. I knew it.
Let me say this, right? And that it doesn't take much, Catherine. And I admire the fact that you desire to go back to Liberia. When we came out of the Civil War, the first elementary school I ever started in Liberia, I didn't have much money. I just did it out of passion. That school now is one of the popular schools in Liberia. The second school I started in Liberia, I didn't need much to even start in. It's still going. It's a popular school also in Liberia. The third school I started, I didn't need much. It's going. It's doing well in Liberia. The fourth school now, it's a high school. It's doing well as well. So, I think our leaders just need to realize that they think they're doing it to the ordinary people, but they're doing it to themselves. Before my father was killed in the Liberian Civil War, my father had 2 vehicles before the war. And back then, the vehicles we had was the one you will say, the bluffing type. We had a Chevrolet and a Volvo. We ate 3 times a day in Liberia at the time. We didn't walk on the street. We used to get on car to go this place, go that place, we play that in the yard, right? But let me say this, when the war scattered everything, destroyed everything, wealth never mattered. Social status did not matter. Today, I don't even know where my father was buried, because I didn't know when they killed him, I didn't know where they killed him and how he was buried. The news just came and told us that your father was killed at so and so point. Today, we don't even know where he was buried. Where is the money? I went to junior high school, Catherine, when the war slowed down. I was playing soccer. They call it scholarship. Soccer scholarship. I got through high school, Catherine. I cut the grass, tutoring people, kids, and playing soccer. You know how long it took me to get my first degree, my first bachelor's degree? 8 years. Because I had to drop off, hustle, get my school fee, go back, do 1 semester, drop, come back, get my school fee, do 1 semester. Can you imagine? So I'm trying to say that in the worst situation, it's possible to excel. Then what more about in the midst of plenty that can go around? The next time you must have in Liberia, I'll carry you Maryland County Harper, so I can show you one of the most popular presidents in Liberia house.
So earlier you said, who heard of Appleton? My name is supposed to be Appleton. But you know how it is when they send you to somebody's house, and so that's how we got the Gibson name. But our original name is Appleton. Okay. So we are from Maryland County, Capamas, okay. Appleton family, but we stay with the Gibsons. So some of my family is Appleton, and some of my family is Gibson. I'm supposed to be related to this Appleton somehow.
Then we need your vote next time. Then we need to collect those votes. We're gonna rely on you to bring those votes.
I want to go to Capamas too. Yeah, I want to see. Man, I didn't get to go there. Every time I try to go, they say the road. So hopefully I will be able to go next time.
Right now, no car getting stuck in the mud, according to President Barker. So you should better get there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a nice show, Catherine.
Yes.
It was a nice show. Tuzon, thank you for tonight. I know I just joined me and just.
Oh, you're welcome. You are welcome.
Impose you in your audience, but no problem.
No, it was a great show. We had a good show. We had a weekend review. We went over all the top stories of the week. So all our LIB Future TV people tonight sleep, but they'll see the show. I'm sure we'll replay it for them during the following week. Thank you, Tuzon.
Okay, you're welcome.
Dr. Pearson, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We will see you all next week for next Friday.
Yeah, by the grace of God.
LIB, stand up. Take me back to Liberia, where the drums still play my song. Take me back to my homeland. It's the place where I belong.
LIB Future TV, giving voice to progressive Liberians, speaking about politics, entertainment, and local news.